order. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Additions to the agenda.
We need to add a resignation in new business. So for item 5, if you wanna do it before policies or after.
We could do it after.
You mean
That
after,
is-
you wanna do it as B instead, or do it right before
Oh,
negotiations?
let's go right after reports.
Okay.
So item B. Welcome visitors. Approval of minutes, financial reports, and bills. Approval of minutes. I move to approve the minutes, for March 11th and March 12th as presented. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll go by roll call. Yes?
Yes.
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 Minutes approved. On to review of financial reports. So we are 75% through, the year. And as you can see, we've expended already 64%. So we're right on where we usually are this time of the year. May is when we pay out the rest of our contracts, so, majority of it will come out right now, so. For, hot lunch. We are at 75% again for the school year. We've expended about 68% of our budget. We're right where we need to be. We're a little short at this time, but we still have funds to come in, and we still have our state funds to come into our revenue for that month. So we're about even. So I think I'm happy with that, and then I'm still transferring that $5,000 every month until we get to the end and see where we're at for May.
You're having to do that 5,000?
Yep, I did, yep. If you can see down in the middle of the revenue section, I transferred the $5,000 at the bottom there for, March. And we've done 10,000 so far. Yep. So. Just an update on our, list of unpaids, we're about 5,000 total for unpaid. For the activity account, if there's any questions there, I did wanna point out that we do still have that lunch assistance, so we still will have that help for that. We'll see where we end up in May, but there will be some help for some lunch bills.
The outstanding checks, at what point do you write these off?
I have a list, I have contacted the majority of them, there was like 4 that I have on my list. I'm gonna contact them and see if they lost the check, if they do not wanna take the check, and they can bring the check back. I've asked the one person, I've reissued that check, and if they don't want it, then bring it back, so I can wait it out. If they don't wanna accept it. There's one that's gone, I'm not sure, I'm gonna contact that one person. And then, the one I had mailed out to him, so he's got it So I'm hoping that one will cash, but I have the big one that's on there. But I am
They
reaching out
don't
to,
surprise me, I guess, it's just that it's.
Yeah.
odd.
yeah, then, and they're little, you know, they're under $100, except for the one, which I will be contacting to make sure he received that other one. And if he did not, then I can reissue it and just make sure that he gets it cashed.
Do we have a motion to approve the reports and bills? Or the activities reports, how much we're in for?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll go by roll call.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yes. Motion carries. On to bills payable.
I have, the new list that was there, it was dated 4/14. That one. I've added, credit card, farmer's union, and telephone bill, I think, yesterday, and I think there was one, Kathy was one, the psychologist that sent me, so I added that one as well.
See Mark was on there again, did we have that?
We have
early
that
in the
until
school
May.
year?
June, I think, May, I think is the last one for that. And then, I did get a bill, let me see if it's on here. Yeah, ABM is at the very top there, so that would be their, initial startup. Yep, yep.
Do we have a motion to approve the amended bills?
I won't pay bills.
Second.
Any discussion? Not, we'll vote by roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Motion carries, three bills. Alright, on to reports, board committee reports,
No.
superintendent report.
Okay, so I did leave you my superintendent report. I'm gonna add at the top, we do have a thank you note from the Weigel family. I will just pass that around. Then on here, the legislative session, I know that most of you, you see the updates from the North Dakota School Board Association. The bills that I'm still really following are the education savings accounts, which is House Bill 1540 and Senate Bill 2400. Both bills, of course, would take public dollars away and use them toward private schools. 1540 advanced from the Senate Education Committee with a do pass. Weiss and Nelson did support this bill. I've emailed them continually, I never get anything back. Klein, I always get something back, he is completely against doing any kind of vouchers or savings accounts. Senate Bill 2400, that's the one that really takes a lot of money, and gives more money to private school children versus public school children. They also don't have to follow any of the mandates that are set by the state. That has received a do not pass recommendation. Cell phone bills. So House Bill 1160 had actually first died, and then the governor came back and said, no, we absolutely need a strict bell-to-bell policy. The funny thing about House Bill 1160 is private schools don't have to follow it. Senate Bill 2354, it does include the non-public schools, but it's more that your school board will come up with a cell phone policy. School funding and transportation, House Bill 1369 is back to a 3% and 3% increase for per pupil payment. I know the NDCEL, the School Board Association, is trying to restore that 3-year rolling average for enrollment, which would be good for us if we take the higher of your enrollment. House Bill 1214, the transportation payments would no longer use, it should say riders as a factor. The funding would also increase as the per pupil payment increases, because as you know, we have not received an increase in transportation in quite a few years. That did pass in the Senate floor 45-1. The roof, they are scheduled to start moving equipment in this week, work will start next week. I know there's some supplies that will be delivered today, there will be behind the kitchen area, there'll be a big crane, it'll be marked off, we cannot use any of the doors in and out of the kitchen due to OSHA standards, so all of our deliveries will be out front. I let the staff know where they can park and to watch in case they have their kids out front for deliveries we might have. The boiler, last week the electric boiler, a fuse burned out and melted the whole panel. Jerry has it on his work table if you wanna look at it. It's working for now, but we'll need to replace the fuse panels and heating elements. Al came in, it says, I don't know, if you wanna see exactly what happened to it, I can pass that around too. You guys might be more interested, it has more the technical of what went on with it. Social studies position, yesterday, I reissued a contract to it. We had originally offered him a contract, he wanted an extension. We said no, because he was looking at a couple other places. I was supposed to have an interview last Friday, she declined, so I've now reissued it. And then FERPA and PPRA compliance. So the reason why we have to update all these policies that are in here is due to the US Secretary of Education and the whole DEI practices that are going on in the government. We have to prove that we have certain policies or certain things in place. So the School Board Association suggested we have all these policies, we update them right now, because in May, they're gonna be asking me for proof that we are following these practices. Then I can send them all of these policies. I have another letter, the email from the School Board Association if anyone wants to see, but it just following DOJ or DEI guidelines. So that is why you'll have so many to approve. I do suggest that you do it in a one reading. We do have the policy where you can approve readings in one board policy. And that is all I have unless there's any questions.
I don't think so. Thank you. Move on to principal AD reports.
Alright, we're down to 25 days left in the school year. The Harvey Elementary Academic Challenge was held last Tuesday, April 8th at 6 o'clock in Harvey. Fessenden Bowden Black brought home the championship with Fessenden Bowden Purple placing second. And there were 11 teams participating that evening, so it's nice to see our kids performing well in those events. Our elementary academic challenge will be held on Tuesday, April 29th at 6 o'clock. The North Dakota A+ assessment, 712 students, with the exception of a few makeup tests, have completed the NDA+ assessment. Elementary is starting up this week, and a special thanks to Ms. Dietz and Mrs. Hines for kind of leading up that process. Close-up traveled to Washington DC and New York City the first week of April. Elementary field trips are in the works before the end of the year. 5th and 6th grades will be holding their Wax Museum and Science Fair on May 7th from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. Parent-teacher conferences were held April 18th and 19th. Based on what I've heard, for the most part, it sounds like parents enjoy being able to schedule their own times for that. So that's something we're gonna kind of look at continuing to do moving forward. Tomorrow and Thursday, I'll be attending a science of reading training in Bismarck. Lower elementary teachers are also completing a science of reading training between now and the end of the year. It's kind of a 20-hour asynchronous class that they're doing. Academic awards will be held on Tuesday, May 20th. 5th grade traveled to Devil's Lake on March 27th for Scrubs Camp. They learned about various medical careers and got some fun hands-on experiences with that. Basketball court fundraiser, we're sitting right around $59,000 on that. And I've gotten quotes for both concrete and the paint on top. So we've got a little further to go to make sure we accomplish that goal yet. On the activity side of things, track has had 5 total meets so far this year. We hosted an early bird last Thursday. We had 20 teams show up to that and approximately 480 athletes.
What time did that get done?
I got home at 9:30.
Cause I left and it was 7:30 and there were a lot of events to go.
The girls shot put was the final event, and I know that they were finishing under flashlight light. Yeah, so we've never hosted an early bird before, so moving forward, if we do that again, we're gonna bump up the start time a little bit. But everybody was really appreciative to be able to get outside and have a meet that day. Softball is sitting at 3-3 on the season. They have obviously had a few games postponed already due to the weather. Baseball sitting at 0-2. They've also had a number of games postponed due to weather. Some of these we're not 100% sure what they're going to look like moving forward. Typically, we schedule each region team one time here, one time away. We might have to look at doubling up some of those days to get those games in. And then lastly, golf again, practiced last Monday. We have 26 golfers on the team this year, 7 through 12. So a lot of kids who haven't spent a whole lot of time swinging a club yet. So Mr. Felkley and I have been pretty busy working with those guys. So that is all I have for the time being.
Alright, thank you. We'll move on to resignation.
Okay, so we received a resignation from Cassie Kallenbach, our second grade teacher. So we just need a motion to accept her resignation. And it's for personal reasons, so.
Sad to see her go. But I get it, right?
She is very open to coming back in the future if there's openings, so.
Very
she's-
open to subbing as well.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to accept the resignation?
But it's not very-
Oh, sorry. Read faster, Hans. Just.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, I can't read as fast as Wyatt. Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept it, I guess.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll vote by roll call.
Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Motion carries. School board policies.
Okay, so they're in your packet. I emailed them to you earlier this week too. I'll just go through FGABR 1. This is a new policy we do not have. It's Student Education Records Access and Amendment Procedure. If you have any questions on that one. Next one would be FGAEI, Notice of Directory Information. This, we just need to update. This is one we've had in place before. It's where parents can opt out of notification and they have to fill this out. FGAE2, Model Notification of Rights under FERPA for schools. This we just need to update. The next one would be, and just please interrupt if you have questions. FGAE2, Model Notification of Rights under the Protection of People Rights Amendment. It replaces GCCE. We need it for federal and state compliance. So what GCCE, they broke that into 2 different policies, so that's why you have FGAE2 and, I'm sorry, I'm getting all confused here, GCCE1 and GCCE2. It's just for the PPRA amendment.
You say that again?
Well, this took me like 2 days, cause I was so confused.
So, like, literally, which one are we on?
We are on
So five and
GCCE2,
oh,
5 and 6,
On-
we're on 5 and 6.
on the, we're at 5 and 6.
Oh, we're looking at here, okay.
But it's also,
But yeah, it's
it's
also-
in
It's
here
also-
too.
Yeah, okay, I think I'm following along now, yep, yep.
Okay,
We have this stuff already, actually.
Yeah,
yes.
except for the.
A
first
couple
one.
we did not have, yeah. Number 7 on your agenda, IDC, data protection and security breaches, we just need to update this. This is one, you know, when we had the Power School breach, this was updated. Number 8, IDCAR, security breaches procedure, we do not have this policy, but we should have this policy. It just tells us what to do if there's a breach. The last breach, the state told us exactly what to do. Number 9 is FACB, student transfer and withdrawal records. This one we do not have, but they strongly recommend it now. It's on the very back. It's just the procedure to transfer and withdraw records. So any questions on specific policies, I'll try and answer them. If not, it just would be best, like I said, I'm gonna have to send these in May.
We have a
So we
motion
could-
to,
yeah, we could do it all.
We can get it all in one, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve all 9 policies.
is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Not, we'll go by roll call. Michael, I think
I
you're
think we,
yes.
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 Yes. Alright, on to negotiations. The next item on the agenda is teacher negotiation strategy. This item may be discussed in executive session only when an open meeting would have an adverse fiscal effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the board. The legal authority for closing this portion of the meeting is NDCC section 44-04-19-19. The topic or purpose of this executive session is teacher negotiation strategy. At this time, a motion would be in order to discuss the next item in the executive session rather than in an open meeting. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion on the motion? If not, I'll vote by roll call. Yes.
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 Okay. The executive session will be recorded. All members of the governing body are reminded to limit their discussion during the executive session to the announced topic. The prohibition on taking final action during the executive session does not apply to providing guidance or instruction to our negotiators. We will now ask the members of the public who are attending the meeting to leave the room. We anticipate adjourning the executive session and reconvening